Africa Advanced map. Stable portals are still on. I'm going to switch maps over here. Before we really see what's going on here with the spawn, let's take a peek at the bonuses on the Africa Advanced map. We don't have any +2s. We have 6 +3s, or is that 5? 5 +3s. You got Southern Africa, East Africa, West Africa, Europe, and Asia Minor are your 5 +3s. Then you have 1 +4, that's the Horn of Africa over in the west. And then you have 3 +6s. You got Central Africa, the Sahara, and North Africa. So with a 5-player game, I think the only way to balance the sport is for all 5 players to take the respective +3s. But I have a feeling that that is not exactly going to be how this game shakes out. All right, we see Nub 2.0 first in the turn order. Since I was going over the bonuses, it looks like Nub is trying to line up Europe, maybe. And we see Elatar gets to go second here. Fails a 3v1. Looks like he's attempting to grab the Southern Africa bonus. Doesn't look like he'll quite get it on turn 1. But after Nub and Elatar's movements, Game Slot has an easy take on the East Africa bonus. He is going to go ahead and grab that. Fortifies his 2 out of Elatar's Southern Africa bonus. So, Game Slot looks like his luck has turned around for this game. Is the first to take a bonus this time around. Not Young Me appears to be going for the Asia Minor bonus and successfully gets it on turn 1. That leaves the only unclaimed +3 to be West Africa, it seems like. But Zycron is not exactly well positioned for West Africa. He might be better off just going for the Horn of Africa bonus. He already has a 4-stack in there. Looks like that is what he's thinking about doing. Zycron is a horny boy, yeah. I mean, he is a daddy, so. He's going to start with game slots 3. Only loses a 1 on that. Not perfect dice, but pretty decent. Only loses a 1 on Not Young Me's 2. So is going to get the +4 on turn 1. Doesn't really have too much material that he can fortify over to it. He does have that 3 in the Sahara that he can move in via the portal. Looks like that is the fortify he's going to do. Fortifies onto his portal there. Not safe for work. Yeah, I don't know why anyone is watching a Risk stream at work. We all know how risque it is to be watching Risk at work. Yeah, all horny at one point. Yeah. All right, so Nub in a tricky situation here. Looks like he has abandoned the Europe bonus and is going to go for the West Africa bonus. But still not having a bonus on turn 2 is not ideal. Perfectly fine pun. Yeah. So Elatar successfully takes his +3, gets his bonus on turn 2. We probably won't see anyone go for a second bonus. Just because any of these players going for a +6 is probably just a smidge too greedy. But I'm not gonna lie, if I'm game slot in this position, I'm considering the Central Africa bonus. Um, it's you might not hold it, but it's certainly takeable this turn if you really wanted it. And he does fortify out of the West Africa bonus. Nub says thanks. Seeing a lot of fist bumps go out. We see Nub say good game. Not Young Me takes a card in that bonus. Does he roll out his 3 or does he force Nub to hit it? He does decide to roll down his 3. So Nub is cheering for that. And Zycron, last but not least, right? He's in a solid position this game. Since his bonus is the strongest one of all the ones that have been taken / will be taken this game. And draws a wild card for his second card. Surely he's not complaining about that. And I think seeing a cannon next to the wild card is probably the best 2-card setup that you can see for a fixed game. Nub 2.0 finishes his West Africa bonus. Not too soon at all for Nub to be wrapping that up. Alatar takes his card up in Europe. So I think we're gonna see things calm here for a little while until players start thinking that they have enough to go for the run. Game slot wants to maintain that position, that 3-stack over there in the Sahara bonus. The temptation for the Central Africa bonus may be calling out to game slot. Decides to take a card in Sahara. Now Young Me adds to the Central Africa bonus. Takes a card within it. That might temper any temptations that game slot might be having for that bonus, but then again, he might not be having any temptations for it. It might be just the greed of this caster here, that favors bonus taking. So Zycron draws a horse. He has a set on 3. Would have to use the wild though if he wants to set in next turn. So despite being the last player to take a bonus, Nub is not actually Nub is slightly, yeah, ever so slightly Nub is the weakest player. But he's not too terribly far behind. Game slot takes a card in the Central Africa bonus. Not Young Me sets on 3. apparently is afraid of something. Can't imagine that he's too afraid. Getting a nice trade there. He's going to continue trading cards with Game Slot in Central Africa, or perhaps not trading cards. Is going to leave that 7 stack there. Zycron can set here and now, but he may decide he does not need to. Probably still a bit too early yet to run it. Takes a card in Central Africa. Decides not to do any fortifies. Draws a horse. So if he wants to set in on 4 cards, he will need to use the wild. Nub is up, considering his options. Likely just going to take an inoffensive card and pass the dice to Elatar. Continues to stack on his portal. Elatar adds everything to his portal stack. Takes a card off his 4 in the Sahara. I don't think we're going to see anyone spice up the board too much here. At least not until a run is attempted. Game Slot takes his card in the trade zone that Elatar and Nub 2.0 have been using. Not Young Me positioning. Not Young Me, I think, is well positioned for a future run. Has stacks all over the board. Has a 7 stack in Central, an 8 stack in North Africa, an 11 stack over in Morocco, and then a 20 stack on his portal. Zycron does decide to set on 4, uses his wild card to do so. 10 stack plus or 10 trade plus 2. It's not too shabby. And fortifies in a unfriendly, potentially threatening manner on Nub 2.0's border there on the West Africa bonus. Nub about to set in for 5, or set Nub on 5 about to set in. To be determined how much he's going to set in for. Has the 10 trade. Looks like he is going to defend against the fortify that Zycron just made. Adds 9 there. So since he's using that many troops for defense, I can't imagine that he's going to attempt the run here. Looks like he's a little bit upset for some reason. Takes a card on the position that Zycron left last turn. And it looks like he was trying to fortify the 4. Hesitated or something, but regardless, he ran out of time before he could fortify. Elatar trades in. Thinking about what he wants to do. Spreading his reinforcing troops on a little bit. Puts most of them on the portal, though. Takes a card, but does not fortify back like he normally does. Game slot with another unfortunate trade in this fixed round here. Not as bad as the last one we saw from him, but a 6 trade is still not what you want to see. Nub 2.0 cheering about something. Game slot fortifies such that he has 2 10 stacks, blocking up the middle of the board a little bit. Not Young Me takes a card, stacks on his portal. And Zycron in the troop lead with 70 troops. Not Young Me behind him on 60. Nub 2.0 and Elatar right around 55. And Game Slot, despite being the first person to grab a bonus this game, did not have a good trade, which puts him behind on 50 troops. Thinking about where he wants to get his card from. Takes it on Elatar. Decides not to fortify. And has a trade on 3. So I think there's a decent chance that we see Zycron attempt it on the next turn, on his next turn. Zycron is the troop lead, has the best / biggest bonus, and is about to set in for 10 plus 2 if he holds it on 3 cards. Yeah, if no one does anything, Zycron runs it. And yeah, I agree. I think he can get it quite, maybe not easily, but I think he's got a decent shot at running it. Speaking of that, map info for Africa Advanced. To run the 70%, the players need 35 territories, 35 of the 50 territories. So that's all but 15 of the 50 territories is all you need to win a game here. But if Zycron fails the run, or if any of these players fail the run, then we reset this game and play the same map again with 4 players, everyone that did not run it and fail it. Or everyone else, I should say. Appears as though no one else had a trade on 3. So Zycron, since this is a fixed game, there's no reason for him to sit on the trade. I think you use it. The next question is, does he run it? Yeah, I don't think you lose anything from I don't think you gain anything from holding onto the 3 cards there. But he doesn't necessarily have to run it if he doesn't think he has it. But I think he probably does have it here. But we'll see that the dice will need to roll. If he doesn't have it with below average dice, so he is going in on Not Young Me, attempting the run here. Slams game slots 12 to get back in here on in Elatar's territory there. 54%. So if he fails it here, we're restarting. So fails the 3v1 there, but does he still have enough? 64. He does have enough. 70% run achieved for Zycron. So yeah, had he won that 3v1, he would have had 36 territories. 100% correct, Cecil. All right. Congrats to Zychron on winning game 2. Let's see if we can get these players in here for a post-game discussion.